bringing Israel to the world. This is IBN News.
With News of Israel, I'm Susan Michaels. Speaking of U.S. President Donald Trump's historic summit in Singapore, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated, "This is an important step in the effort to rid the Korean peninsula of nuclear weapons." Netanyahu also spoke of Trump's stand against Iran's efforts to arm itself with nuclear weapons, saying the U.S. president's policy is an important development for Israel, the region, and the entire world. Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met for 3.5 hours earlier this week, which resulted in the signing of a comprehensive document on the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. The U.S. is no longer just defending Israel at the United Nations, but will go on the offensive against countries that do not condemn the Hamas terror organization. Following the U.S. veto of the Kuwait resolution at the UN Security Council, which called for condemnation of Israel for excessive force against the Palestinians but did not mention Hamas, Turkey and Algeria then submitted a similar resolution to the General Assembly. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, sent a letter to all UN member states saying the General Assembly resolution was fundamentally imbalanced because it ignored basic truths about the situation in Gaza and didn't mention Hamas. She proposed an amendment which condemns Hamas for firing rockets into Israel and inciting violence along the border fence. The United States is eyeing Israel's fenced border with Egypt as a possible idea for the border between Mexico and the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen visited Israel and inspected the Israeli border fence with the hopes of gaining ideas for a U.S.-Mexico border to prevent illegal immigrants and others from entering from Mexico. Israel says the fence along the border with Egypt has prevented a flood of African migrants and also entrance by Islamic State militants. A senior counselor in South Africa has been suspended for declaring the city was a friend of Israel. Mfo Filatse, a counselor in charge of health, spoke at a pro-Israel event in Johannesburg last weekend.
And I'd like to declare that I am a friend of Israel, and the city of Johannesburg is a friend of Israel. Shalom.
Johannesburg's mayor, Herman Mashaba, said he was disappointed the councillor attributed her personal sentiments to the city on such an emotional and sensitive issue. I'm Susan Michaels.
IBN, Israel Broadcast Network.